After 18 days of slaughter, the Kurukshetra war is over. The Pandavas have won the most brutal conflict in memory, and the natural expectation is that these weary victors will finally be rewarded with a peaceful afterlife. We follow Yudhishthira, the eldest brother and a man defined by his adherence to moral law. He completes his final journey across the earth and steps into Swarga, heaven. But he does not find his family. Instead, sitting on a celestial throne, bathed in a triumphant glow, is Duryodhana, the man who fueled the war and orchestrated the suffering of millions. A divine messenger approaches, leading Yudhishthira away from the throne room. They descend from the golden halls into a wretched, lightless underworld. In the darkness, the smell of rot is overwhelming. Yudhishthira begins to hear voices he recognizes, the agonizing cries of his brothers and his wife, Draupadi, suffering in the abyss. The villain is enthroned, and the heroes are in the abyss. If this is the end of the story, then cosmic justice is a lie, and the entire concept of Dharma has failed. To understand this reversal, we have to look at the moments just before Yudhishthira reached these gates. He had climbed the frozen peaks of the Himalayas with only a stray dog for company. When Lord Indra arrived in a divine chariot to take the king to heaven, he demanded the dog be left behind. Yudhishthira refused. He was willing to forfeit paradise rather than abandon a creature that relied on his protection. The dog then revealed its true form, Lord Yama, the god of Dharma. By choosing compassion over his own reward, Yudhishthira proved he was pure enough to enter the celestial realm in his physical body. Because the king had just demonstrated this level of moral integrity to the gods themselves, his immediate descent into the underworld isn't a punishment for a lack of character. It is a logic-defying anomaly. Standing in the dark among the screams of his family, Yudhishthira is given a choice. The messenger tells him he can leave this hellscape right now and return to the infinite comforts of heaven. Yudhishthira chooses to stay. He declares that he would rather spend eternity in hell with those he loves than sit in a heaven occupied by his enemy. These scales represent the mechanical laws of the afterlife, karmic accounting. In this system, when a soul possesses a vast amount of one kind of karma and a tiny sliver of another, the smaller portion is often processed first. Duryodhana lived a life of malice, but he died a warrior's death on the battlefield. That single act of bravery earned him a brief stay in heaven to burn off his tiny sliver of good karma before his actual sentence began. Yudhishthira lived a life of near-perfect virtue, marred only by the deceptive half-truth he told to his teacher during the war. He was sent to the underworld first to burn off that single sin. Beyond this karmic math, the gods were also employing Maya, a divine illusion. The underworld Yudhishthira saw wasn't a physical place, but a psychological test. It was designed to force him to relinquish his final mortal attachments, his lingering hatred for his cousins, and his own ego-driven pride in being the righteous one. This experience served as a final crucible. It stripped away the last remnants of his human identity, so he could finally achieve complete spiritual liberation. The moment Yudhishthira commits to his family, the illusion shatters. The smoke and the screams of the underworld dissolve instantly into a clear, radiant light. This is the real Swarga. His brothers, his wife, and even his fallen enemies are there, existing in a state of quiet harmony. In this state of being, the political grudges, the physical pain, and the trauma of the war have no weight. They have been left behind with the mortal world. Righteousness in the Mahabharata isn't a currency used to buy a seat in a better place. True Dharma is the internal resolve to hold to your principles and your loved ones, even when the universe itself seems to be punishing you for it. The path of Dharma is a difficult climb, but it is the only road that leads to the truth. Jai Shri Krishna. The story of the Kuru dynasty ends here, but the lessons of the Srimad Bhagavat and the Ramayana are waiting. Subscribe and join us as we continue to explore the depths of these ancient epics.